Put my phone on D&D. Yeah. It's not the job. It's the fucking management. Start the show. What's popping, gang? It's your boy Poppy JB here, and we are here once again. For gotta say that in there. Once again for another episode of the podcast. Yes. And today we're gonna give thanks unto the Lord, for He is good. No, I'm just like, what we're gonna be talking about and giving. I don't really want to say giving praise, but we're gonna talk about let's talk about working class citizens. More so, job management, and the easy tasks that I feel that they really truly are, but made difficult by poor management. Whether it's poor management skills, poor time management skills, character flaws, power trips, defaults, a lot of things that people don't want to address, misplaced anger, we're gonna jobs and the bullshit that comes with them all the time. Now, usually they say you want to find a job, quote unquote, or something that you like to do, something that you have interest in, something that you really like. So that way it won't feel like a job or anything else like that. But I feel like even sometimes in that case, it still can feel like a fucking job due to management. Whether it's a management team, whether it's a managing partners, whether it's just a regular manager. Now, this episode brought to you today by #TTOTPodcast Studios. It is not necessarily in a net to bash all managers or formulate our riots with our pitchforks of angry employees and coworkers. Actually, yes, it is. Yeah, we actually gonna talk. We're gonna talk a little bit of shit. It's a little bit of shit. It is what it is. Y'all punk bitch ass stink ass. But we're gonna do that. This is not necessarily to, throw cow shit at all of the I mean, sometimes you want to. Listen, I'm just saying this. Sometimes it's not the job's to management. And I'm only really talking from experience and stories of people that's necessarily either close to me, whether it was a coworker, whether it was a friend, whether it's a random motherfucker that I met. Shit, whether it's just people online. I actually at some point was in like some retail what the fuck was it? It was like a retail storage. It was like a retail Facebook group or some shit like that. Just basically like employees or something complaining and all the other stuff. No, I'm not a martyr. But shit was crazy. Either way, and you actually get a lot of some crazy stories from there. And I mean, if you work retail, no, I don't work retail anymore. I haven't worked retail in the last like 3-4 years. But if you work retail and honestly just any job, I'm not gonna say just any job, but if you work retail and just honestly customer service, you understand that people ain't shit. Accompanied by people not being shit, they have their shitty ass kids to follow them. Yes, and I don't like it. We don't like it. And on top of that, it's just customer service comes with a lot of bullshit in general. Now, all of my jobs have been customer service jobs, but should be crazy. But I mean, it's nothing. What did it say? Water off a duck's back. And some other shit. Cause I'm not the type of person that takes work home with me. I feel like, okay, if I'm work, it's going to be compartmentalized. If I'm stressed out or whatever the case may be, or if I'm angry with my job or the people there, once I clock the fuck out, that's where that shit stays. I'm not bringing that shit with me. What the fuck I look like? No, you cannot get in my car. No, you cannot roll on down the street. And no, you cannot enter my home. None of that shit. All of the stress, depressed, regressed, redirect. Not understanding either way. All of the shit they get left at the job. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not one of those people that keep that shit with me. However, it's people that do. And for the people that do, let it go. Be like Elsa. Or was it Anna? I never really fully watched that movie. Moving on. So, it's not the job sometimes, it's the management. Now y'all know I always come up with these slogans and or sayings, question mark, or whatever the case may be. But it's not the job, it's the management. When I say that, I mean like sometimes jobs really do be ABC 1 2 3 type work. Like it really do just be okay. Let me give you a small example, like a cashier's job. And this is not to diminish anybody's job. This is not to diminish anybody's title. This is not to diminish anybody's work ethic. Unless you ain't doing shit. Either way, boom. So let's just say a cashier, for instance. This, on a normal day, depending on what store you work at too, you can take care of a customer, you scan their shit, you bag it up, you keep it pushing. And when you don't have customers, you usually stock a queue line, the queue line being the surrounding merchandise around the register tips. Swipe in, swipe out, check them in, check them out, bring them up, knock them down, bring them out, and it's done. Cool, whatever. As simple as, okay, I'm gonna ring these bag of chips up, I'm gonna ring this soda up, and I'm gonna ring that Snickers up, and I'm gonna bag this, and Margaret, you going about your way. You know what I'm saying? Then I'll, stock this gum right here, make the Pepsis look a little sexy in the cart, and, just move from there. Now, a job that can go from just literally A to Z, if you're commonly thinking about it, let's just say this person has a management staff or management team, quote unquote. One manager comes up and tell them, oh, hey, you're doing a great job, but it's slow up here, so, when you get done doing this, or when you don't have any customers, you can finish stocking the sodas and finish stocking the chips, no problem, and you won't have an issue. Okay, great. Manager number 2 comes, because we're talking about a management team, and they come and it's like, oh, hey, buddy. Yeah, when you're done doing that, when you're done ringing the customers up, I need you to run to the back and actually come and get some more merchandise and then stock up here all the way in the electronics department, because you're done with snacks, or they don't even know about snacks. Okay, boom. The manager 3 comes in and say, listen, I need you to help me out with these motherfuckers over here stealing. Fuck what they talking about. I need you over here. Right? And of course, as an employee, you necessarily don't want to. I mean, I don't know what kind of employees. Maybe the employees before 2020. Actually, maybe the employees before I started working retail. But nobody really wants to be like, oh, okay, cool. No, I'm not doing this shit. You don't want to not necessarily not do your job. You know what I'm saying? All right, cool. You got to do what you got to do. But you also can't be 17 people in one place because everybody wants you to do stuff. I had that issue before. Just a little bit. And then I had to put my nuts on the table and let niggas know, I am not doing that until I am done. You know what I mean? Whatever. So really quick note that I'm just really basically saying that a lot of job tasks, and I'm talking about at least the jobs I work, retail and customer service, shit, whether it's warehouse to, honestly, restaurant, I don't know. You really can go anywhere and say, oh, somebody should be or can be doing this, so you can be, you don't really want to judge nobody, because everybody's situation is different too. However, once again, I'm just basically saying that a lot of job tasks be simple as fuck, but due to management, sometimes they can make shit more difficult. Whether that's the actual physical part of a job or whether that's actual analytical part of a job, sometimes managers don't know how to manage. I'm not gonna singularly call y'all bitch ass niggas out, because I could. All of them. But I'm not. I mean, this is not to say I didn't like any of the managers. I'm a cool ass type of motherfucker, so I got along with everybody. I tell people all the time, I get along with everybody until you don't get along with me. And then once that happens, that's your problem. Like that sounds like a you problem. It don't sound like me problem. That sounds like a you problem. Now I'm nice. Ish. When I want to be. Either way, so as I'm saying, I'm not trying to come for. Oh, actually, that's the fuck I am. I'm coming for you, bitch. No. I should have said all of the mismanagers, all of the abusive managers, abuse meaning abusing their power, or necessarily liking to go over the top for bullshit that's necessarily probably not even policy, but because it suits their own need or want, it spills over into the everyday employee's life as if they're supposed to give a fuck about what the next motherfucker. Another conversation for another day. Let's talk about management teams, though. Before I do that, let me light my blunt. Hallelujah. Now we're gonna talk about management teams. Let's talk about management teams. For the dummies in the back, management teams. So a group of people, usually 3 to 5, that manages either a store, a business, or a company. They come in the form of general manager, store manager, assistant manager, operations manager, co-operations manager / assistant operations manager. A lot of these stores nowadays trying to give people fancy titles. It's all the same shit. So it can go by a whole different other names. They call them coordinators, all this other shit. Either way, a management team is a group of people that manages. Back to the show. And we're gonna talk about management teams. Let's talk about the dysfunction that comes with a lot of them if it's not properly ran. And that comes in the forms of there's too many people, there's not enough power, quote unquote, or there's too many people, too many opinions, and too many personalities. Don't nobody want to deal with. On average, the managers are divvied up amongst either employees or departments or however said business does their stuff. Of course, everybody, the general manager / store manager is always going to be the end all be all decision if she or he or them or they are not a punk ass bitch, and actually knows how to work and knows how to command and use their power, not supposed to abuse their power. I'm a firm believer of the fish stinks from the head on down, so at the end of the day, I do think it's the general manager's responsibility to monger all of your whores. What do you mean? No, I'm just playing. But it's their responsibility to make sure everything runs smoothly and manage. You know what I'm saying? And if you actually think about it, when you going up a hierarchy in a company, it's usually, at least to me, from what I see, you get more stress, of course, because more responsibility, but you do less work, at least physically. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much, you get paid more to do less. Which I still think is ass backwards. Because how the fuck you gonna pay somebody? Well, I understand experience, cool, but it'd be like, okay, you getting paid more to do less, while you got all these motherfuckers that's getting paid less to do more, and then you expect them to continue to want to go through the slave ship and the bullshit that comes with a lot of different management teams. Now, I'm not saying all management teams, because some can actually, and I've seen some, none that I've worked with, but I've seen some depictions at least, and I can't even really say seen because outside and looking in. But I've seen some stores that look like they ran nice, and at least when you see management groups, they look like or seem to be getting along or doing what's necessary for the business to run. Not everybody can do that. I've experienced a lot of managers that had ego trips sometimes. I've experienced a lot of managers that were insecure as fuck. And the funniest thing is, it wasn't even like women managers, it was most of the male managers that I've had. I've come across a few management teams that's been confused as fuck because communication ain't shit, and obviously it's not a thing. It's it's a bunch of chaos and confusion when your communication is obsolete. I really feel like communication is key, whether that's in a relationship, a friendship, a workship, whatever the fuck, ship. Communication is key throughout life. You have to be able to communicate effectively in order to actually seize a moment correctly, and then B, have shit just run smoothly. Who wants rough shit all the time? I mean, every now and again, yeah. Round. Nah, but nobody want to be just going through or feel like they have to go through struggle and be miserable as fuck going to work. I mean, I've experienced a lot of that a lot of times, and all of those jobs have been left behind. Yes, I feel like you need experience. So it's not bad for you to go through some shit. Everybody needs to go through some shit. Pressure makes diamonds, right? And this is not to say every workplace has to be perfect all the time. It would be great if it was, but then again, what's perfect to me isn't perfect to you. Moving on. Management teams. Going back to the personality. This is my thing. Granted, you can typecast these people. Like, you can say, let's just say on average a group of 5. You always want to have, the store manager, really depending on what store manager you are, but just going on a poll of people that I've been in contact with. You have a store manager, and it's usually, once again, no, I don't really want to say, listen, this ain't no shot to no shade, but if you take it how you want it. I don't give a fuck. Some store managers, you'll have them either be lazy as fuck, and don't want to do shit because they know they get paid more to do less. And necessarily it's not really their job to be hands-on with everything anyway, because what the fuck am I paying all these other people to manage for, right? You got them, don't really want, they're there, but they ain't really there. They throw their input in there every now and again when they need to. Then let's say you got the assistant manager, the one that wants to sometimes always want to put the pussy on the table. Then nobody asks. We didn't ask for the salty vaginas. Tastes like sardines. We didn't want it, right? Boom. That just wants to insert yourself more than needed, and always want to just, I don't want to necessarily say be in everybody's business, because it's what you're supposed to do as a manager, right? But not mind their fucking business when they need to. Boom. So then you have the one under them, let's say like operations. That's usually the one that actually does what they're supposed to do, and usually just wants to get in, get out, and just have shit run efficiently. The one under them does what's necessary, but doesn't always do what needs to be done. You know what I'm saying? Half-assing it. And then you'll just probably have like a key holder or something that's just there because they ain't have nobody else. So, and once again, everybody's different in life. Everybody has different personalities. Everybody has different feelings, emotions. Everybody interprets things differently. Everybody sees things and experiences things in different ways, although it can be the same experience. And that obviously goes into somebody's upbringing, their trauma, if they have any, and then personal yada yada. Y'all know how that go. If you are a TTOT podcast viewer, you know I talk about this shit all the time. But I mean, also too, a lot of management teams, this is because I think about everything, but I feel like they're not put together well anyway. Because sometimes you really do have to look at the person, and then you have to see, okay, you have to analyze a person. This is just me going into how to build a management team. You got to analyze somebody's personalities, what are their weaknesses, their strengths, how do they handle themselves in certain situations. Of course, all of the questions they claim to ask, but they don't really implement. And really just seeing what kind of personality it is. And also too, we ain't gonna really just throw it all the way on them, because motherfuckers be lying on their interview and shit like that. So people can present their best self, and then 3 months later, they ain't that. That ain't this, and this ain't that. But of course you got that. But back to what I was saying. Going and you want to just analyze fully, and then honestly, I feel like once you get the best person to be, the store manager and or at the top, then you build around them. Okay, what will complement this side of them? What person can what fill in the void of their weakness? And vice versa with that. And then who can do what? Who can do this? Who can do that? What's everybody's strong suit? How do you communicate? You don't necessarily always want to say personally, because business is business and personal is personal. But how can you conduct yourself in a actual professional and productive environment? You know what I'm saying? I feel like it should be multiple tests. No, I mean, nowadays you really ain't got the fucking time to do so, because ain't nobody really trying to work. Granted, I understand, because who the fuck trying to be an employee out here working for the man? I'd rather put my fucking time, or majority of my time at least, into something that's going to build me up. And that's just also too, if you want to, be self-sufficient enough to want to be an entrepreneur. You don't have to do that. That's not everybody's dream. And you know I'm wrong with that not being everybody's dream. But we talking about me. But yeah, also too, with the personalities, and not necessarily having personalities that mix, whether that be your zodiac sign, and everybody has their beliefs, different beliefs, and everybody should be able to respect everybody's different beliefs. I'm not talking about like pairing them by your beliefs, but just pairing them by your traits. If you look at motherfucking certain zodiac signs, you honestly can, you want to put the puzzle together for real, you can kind of sort of get a better percentage of a success or a higher success rate of a management team if you really do get down into the astrological sign. That's all I'm saying. And that in the form of knowing what to pair, or who to pair who with what, and who to actually bring around who, and see how they work. This is not to say everybody's the same, or every zodiac, or every person that has the same zodiac or shares the same zodiac sign is the same. This is just saying know who the fuck pairs well. And if you care about your business that much, you'll put the time in. In my eyes, what did Tamara say? This is my opinion. I feel like if you mismatch the wrong team, or if you make the wrong team, everybody has their mistakes. But if you make the wrong team, at times or let's say if the communication is not there for the team, or if the communication is not effective enough, at some point, nobody's going to be hearing anybody. And this is from the management staff. Nobody's going to be hearing anybody. Nobody's going to want to hear anybody because they're too busy, worrying about their point and not necessarily worrying about how can we collectively bring our points together. I feel like at some point nobody's going to care. You know what I'm saying? And once your management team don't give a fuck, when your employees see that, they know that whether you show it or not, you can see it in the work. You know what I'm saying? So if you really don't care about certain things or a lot of things or your fucking job, it's going to bleed into your job. And as a manager, I don't feel like that is healthy, because if you want to have a great work morale, I sound old as shit sometimes. Either fucking way. If you want to, if you want to create a great work environment, a productive work environment, everybody's happy and fulfilled at least ish. And everybody has a different reason why they go to work, but you want to at least try to do that. It starts with communication. Communication's key. I know sometimes I keep saying the same shit. But okay. It's ridiculous. I mean, people don't understand that. It's the basic things of life. You have to lead by example. Shit, you gotta want to lead by example if you are a leader, or if you are in position to lead. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're not a leader in position to lead, and you're not willing to learn and actually do what's necessary to be so, leading a pack of motherfuckers, you don't need to lead. You don't need to manage. You don't need to host. You don't need to be in front of the line. Actually get the fuck out. Go home, Roger. Like the fuck. Yeah. I'm just saying. That is just me. You gotta lead by example. So I mean, for real, you can apply that to your regular life in general too. Let's just say parents. Like, honestly, managing and parenting is really, they go neck and neck. Now, granted, these motherfuckers ain't your kids, and you don't want to be treating your employees like kids. But if you look at, quote unquote, the job roles, you will see that, oh shit, responsibility. I'm responsible for these motherfuckers to make this shit look great, or make this shit run smoothly. You know what I'm saying? Whether that's as a parent thinking, oh shit, these are my little fuckers around here. You know what I mean? These my little fuckers. I gotta make something out of them, because they're gonna be humans and adults in this fucking world. So am I gonna have them corrupt and looking crazy and just doing anything? Or am I going to at least try my best to have them do their best, or teach them what to do? You know what I'm saying? Think about it as that. Now, once again, you got grown-ass employees. Don't treat them like a kid. But think about your job as, you're basically the parent of the store company or whatever. You got to make sure shit go right. Like, you can't expect people to listen to you if you don't give them anything to listen to. You know what I'm saying? And it's not... You gotta dismantle, because I know a lot of people, and this be people's problem too, as far as like managers, because a lot of managers are parents, and the mistake that they do if they are applying this, okay, well, I'll just treat it, as if I'm, one of my kids. The mistake is a lot of parents already do the whole, or say the whole, do as I say, not as I do, or they have that whole mentality. I feel like you can't do that. First of all, you bitch, don't tell me some shit, or don't tell me to do some shit that you wouldn't do, or that you haven't done. I mean, this is gonna give me $1 million, depending on what it is. But how would you feel if somebody go tell you, hey, go bungee jump without this cord? I ain't do it, so I don't know the outcome. But try it, and you let me know how it goes. You know what I'm saying? We're not doing that. And then also, too, you leading. You gotta sometimes show people visually, okay, you have to set that example. This is how we do things. This is how we're supposed to do things, and I expect nothing less. But you can't be a hypocrite and not, give that same energy to what you do and how you show how you do it. Even if you don't give a fuck. If you are running some shit that you plan on staying with or staying at, act like you give a fuck. In the presence of, your flock, your employees. These are just things, that I feel like will make a better management team or manager. It's really just like putting thought into your employees. Shit out here crazy nowadays. I know shit out here nowadays is crazy. Not everybody want to be at the place that they're at. And we get that. Work on doing something better and actually finding your way out to do what you really want to do in life. But once again, this is just me thinking of ways to make a better management team, better manage experience. And this is for all of the managers listening. or managing now. You know what I'm saying? Granted, no, I'm not. No, I like managing my own life. I'm not necessarily at jobs where I manage, so God is good. And once again, I'm talking about like jobs and not like actual, like managers of like influencers and shit like that. I mean, you can apply this too. But just I feel like you gotta put a little bit of thought into it if you're gonna lead. And also too, being a leader does not mean you can't serve. You're not above serving just because you lead. And being a good leader is actually showing that you can serve. Hashtag TTOT podcast. So as y'all was saying, this is just me thinking about creating a better work environment, or me giving you guys notes, because I don't plan on going back to jobs that don't fulfill what I like or what I need to do in life. You know what I'm saying? What I want to do in life. So honestly, we really can drop it right here for real. But I'm gonna throw extra little few in there. You always want to have a great work-life balance. A few things you can do to better your workplace, your workspace, your environment. If you're of the management team or higher, I definitely want to work on that work-life balance between all employees. And I understand business is contingent upon numbers and contingent upon what we have for this. What's our goal for this? Do we have hours here? I mean, if I know how this shit really works, so this is kind of like surface. But if y'all want to go deep, let me know. But you should really, like, as far as like scheduling, try to, one, like I always say, analyze your employees and analyze the people around you to really see what life is for them and what would be the best thing for them to do in order for them to be the best at the job. Basically creating like the better work-life balance for them. Try to cater to a little bit more of scheduling better around. And I understand sometimes you always can't do that because business is business. You get paid for a job, you coming in. But work-life balance, employee appreciation, whether that's like, I mean, anybody can say anything. So verbals, that's nice, but nah. Give me some money, give me a gift card, give me a post to throw it on the store blog. Now that shit really don't mean nothing to employees. So I really want y'all other like employers to know. Just because y'all want to throw somebody's little employee of the week badge or a fucking whatever, that shit. No, give me money. Don't give me a gift. That's nice, and that shows appreciation, and that actually shows visibility, letting somebody know that they're seen and they're noticed for all of their hard work and their thing. Cool appreciation post. On the websites, that'd be great, as long as it comes with a gift. And better pay. You know what I'm saying? I understand business is business, but all business can be better in some forms, and all jobs can be better. And I think some of the things that I've mentioned previously, they couldn't help. But who am I? I'm just doing it for me. All right. This has been another episode of the That's That on That podcast. I am your boy, Poppy JB here, and we are signing off.